Not really.
Yo, 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 what is up? KK, we live. How
What
you
is
doing, bro?
yo
Oh, that was quick.
yo for real I'm gonna just say it's been a pleasure. Thank you for listening to the Fairweather podcast. This week once again, I'm happy to have my boy Sammy and Vic back. I'm happy to have A Rob back. But I just got to talk about my day. Today has been nonstop, and I looked forward. I cannot wait to sit down in the seat and just decompress and talk to my brothers about sports. So much shit to talk about. It's so fun. I'm happy to see y'all again. What's popping, Sammy?
Just chilling, bro. But you better be ready for the smoke because we're gonna ask you a bunch of questions of why Damian Lillard deserves to be an All-Star starter.
Oh my god, that wasn't me. That was A Rod. That was
Yeah,
A
you're right.
Rod.
You
So
wildin', bro.
yeah, don't put that on me now. Anyway, let's we got a lot to get to today. A lot to get to today. Obviously, we had the conference championship weekend, which we pretty much ended up with two teams that not many people wanted. We wanted to see something new, but
Yeah.
we get a rematch of the 2020 Super Bowl that eventually led to the pandemic. So we'll see how that goes. And then we got a lot of NBA stuff to get to. A lot, All Star reserves. Joel Embiid hurt again. And the New York Knicks are hot again. So a lot to get to today. But we're gonna kick it off with some crazy, wacky, or funny stuff you've seen in sports recently. Also known as the Sammy and Vic time to just the soccer minute. It's the soccer minute with Sammy and Vic. So the floor is yours, Vic. I'm gonna give it to you, and then we'll go to Sammy.
First of all, it's great to be back, boys. I missed an outlet to vent my sports fandom to, so now I'm glad to be back on the only podcast that doesn't matter how many people we have, we're going to go 2 hours. Um, but wacky and craziest thing. Let's start with the news of Gio Reyna moving from Borussia Dortmund to Nottingham Forest. Crazy, yes. I hate the move personally. The team doesn't fit his system, but I got nothing else to say other than that. I'm kind of shook. I wish I could show a meme right now, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Can you? So, what is it that What makes you feel how you're feeling? Like, what's causing you to feel this emotion that you have right now?
Well, Jaron is definitely the most promising player in the United States player pool at only 21 years of age. Obviously, I think he has the ability to start on very many clubs in all the top 5 leagues. To be honest with you, in the world, moving to Nottingham Forest, he's going to be in the Premier League, but he's going to be on a team that is fighting against relegation, and a team that plays more of a counter style attacking play, where Gio Reyna is a better fit as a creative midfielder, where you're kind of holding possession. Nottingham Forest isn't that team. They're a team that relies on the counter attack to score goals because let's be honest, they're a weak team. So
Yeah, they suck.
we'll see. Yeah, they're terrible. We already have another American there that's struggling incredibly in Matt Turner. There's questions now on if he's even still the number one for the U.S. He's struggling mightily, I'd say. So just to add another U.S. Player there, and a promising one at that, scares me a bit.
Okay,
Cheap,
all right.
cheap called, so that ain't it.
Yeah,
I like your breakdown there. I really do appreciate your breakdown, Sammy.
there you go.
What you got for me? I know you've been watching the African Cup, and I
I
don't know
was
if that's
hoping
too
I didn't
soon.
have to come to say this, but I was just gonna point out one team in particular, but I guess it has to be said. 5 of the top, pretty much all top 5 African teams have been knocked out of the African Cup. Egypt, or Morocco, obviously, is number 13. Senegal, Egypt, Cameroon, and there's a fifth one that I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it's been an absolute crazy tournament. The other stat that I thought was extremely crazy is the quarterfinals is a brand new quarterfinals from 2017. So pretty much nobody that was in the quarterfinals in 2017 or 2019 is in the quarterfinals this year. So it's like they like pretty much flipped every single team. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, it's looking good for your boys over there in Nigeria, bro. I know you were
I was
talking
gonna
mad
say,
smoke, bro.
I was gonna say,
AFCON,
however,
baby.
on a positive note, and then I was gonna let you have that. So yeah, well, so obviously, I've been a little removed from Nigerian soccer, but from your expert opinion, what are we doing right, and what chance do you give us to make it all the way?
So the first and foremost, you guys are talented. So it's just plain and simple.
Very good.
Man,
Yeah,
the
you guys have.
We've always been talented. We just been coached horribly, or just too much
Yeah,
ego.
and I think
Look, man.
more than any other year I've seen is this year. It's been extremely aggressive. Like the refs. I mean, normally the refs don't call stuff, but the thing about the way Nigeria can play and the way they are showing they can play is they're playing strong and they can play technical. They can literally choose the way they want to play with this group of talent on their team. Morocco got unlucky because they're not strong. They're just very technical. And so when they came up against a team like South Africa that's going to push you around, that's going to bump you, they couldn't respond. You know what I mean? So I think what Nigeria has is they can choose their style of play. If you want to play, technical with them like they showed against Ivory Coast, they can do that and they can win the game and hold strong. Or if they want to
Question
bump,
for-
Nigeria will bump because they're fast, they're strong, and they're aggressive. And to counter what you said in the beginning of the AFCON, KK,
Yeah,
they're playing like a team.
about time. About time. No, seriously, because like I've gotten so used to just the same shit over and over. So I'm just happy to see that we've actually done something right. So I do appreciate that. But you think we can make it all the way?
I think you're the best team left, in my opinion.
Talent wise, yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
I agree. One thing, the other African team, I think, is Egypt. Is that the other
I
one?
said that one. I said that Egypt already. Yeah.
All right. Egypt.
Or
All right.
Algeria. Algeria. Sorry, that was the fifth.
Algeria. Yeah. Question for you: should Hakimi taken that shot, or should somebody like a better shooter taken that?
I wasn't. I thought it was weird that we let our right back take that shot.
Yeah,
but
so weird.
I know why, because obviously he's one of the best players on our team. I thought
Yeah.
Nahi should have taken it. I think at that point he was the most technical player on the team, or one of the and Nesri, right? He's the striker.
Was Ziyech not on the field?
No, he got injured last game. Boufal got injured last game. So we were pretty banged up too by the time we got to that point. So, yeah, it was very weird that he took it. I understood why, but he's been on a weird string of missing a lot of penalty kicks. Like he missed one in one of our friendly matches. We got a PK and he missed it. I'm pretty sure he missed one when he was with PSG as well. Like Mbappe gave him a PK to take and he missed it. He hit the post or whatever. So, yeah, it's very strange.
All right, Alex, talk to me.
Ooh, so weird to hear my name, Alex. I think the wackiest, craziest thing for me, I wasn't gonna go, stick the little apocalypto knife in Sammy's side and say Morocco missing that, Hakimi missing, but I think for me it's the price tag for Kyle Kuzma in trade talks. Like this guy is coveted like he's the greatest player in the world or something like that, and they're asking for like 3 first-round picks for the guy. Like, is he really worth 3 first-round picks? Or I think somebody offered 3 first-round picks and they turned it down. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's a little weird to hear about Kuzma.
About Mr. Kuz. I mean, he needs to be freed from the depths of hell that's called Washington. We have the Charlotte Hornets and we have the Washington Wizards, 2 worst teams. Even though Detroit's bad, but at least they got Monty Williams and some talent. But like these are bad teams. So I would love for him to be free. But if I'm Washington, I could see why they're going to ask for all that crazy work. So yeah, cool. Now for me, my first one, I got to go to WWE Raw this past Monday. I just want to say, guys, it was the greatest night of my entire life.
Did the Rock
Get the
show
fuck
up or no?
The Rock was not there. The Rock was not there. And I got married in December. I also got married again at a Nigerian wedding 2-3 weeks ago. And this was still the greatest night of my entire life. So I hope she doesn't hear this because she will kill me. But I did tell her that as well. So I don't know if she remembered me saying it. She was kind of sleeping a little bit, but it was the greatest night in my entire life. Just the live action of the WWE is just crazy. But the crazy part about it and the wacky part about it was that in the midst of all this, Vince McMahon is in trouble. So he's finally getting caught up with all his past transgressions, and we'll see what happens with that. But another one that was pretty interesting to me was it came on my phone. I think it was last night at like 1 a.m. That Rajon Rondo was arrested on gun charges, drug charges, driving recklessly.
Man has some weed and a pistol in his seat. Leave the man alone.
I didn't read the full story. I just saw the article and I was like, damn, we got John Moran over here trying to in the flesh. So to see a gun charge from a former or current NBA player, and that's not John Morant, it's refreshing that there's still hope for the young man. So Rajon Rondo, who's actually going to try to be a head coach in the NBA at some point. You don't know. There's going to be some GMs that are like, I don't know. So
I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just reading what the report says.
Be more like Derek Fisher. Go travel 30 miles to go fight a motherfucker and beat him up, or Matt Barnes or something like that.
That was definitely Matt Barnes that went to go beat up Derek.
It was definitely Matt Barnes.
It was Matt Barnes. My bad.
Derek Fisher was running around the table like, no, please, no.
Yeah.
Speaking of old players that you wouldn't really think about getting in trouble. I don't know if you guys saw this. Again, another soccer one, just real quick. Samuel Eto'o is being investigated for corruption and giving away games because he's the head of the Cameroon Soccer Federation. I would never think Eto'o would do anything like that. So yeah.
You're giving soccer players a lot of credit. There's a lot of shady shit that goes on.
Game
soccer,
fixing. That's what he's been accused of. He's fixing games.
A lot of shady shit. So I can't be surprised when we hear stories like that. But let's go on to the NFL. We had the AFC and NFC Championship weekend. For those of us like myself and A-Rod who are Team Lamar, it was rough. We talked about it last week, A-Rod, and we both said we can't bet against Mahomes, and Mahomes is back in the Super Bowl for what was it? It's the fourth time that he's back? No, fourth time. Fourth time that he's back to the Super Bowl. So, in his very young, short career, I went as far to say on Twitter right after that game, I think he's already better than Brady. And I know you Patriot fans are gonna, you're gonna say how you feel, but I think I think he's already there. I mean, skill set wise, he's already been better, but clearly the mentality is there. Clearly the mentality is already there. So I want to talk about, first of all, we're gonna talk about the game. We'll start with you, Sammy, because I know I said some. I'm shooting guns a blazer right now. So, Patrick, do you want to start with Lamar Jackson faltering, since I know you've been talking about that, or do you want to talk about Patrick Mahomes' legacy and how it compares and the keys, how they won the game and all that kind of stuff? I'll let you answer that question. How do you want to approach it?
So wait, hold on. So you said Lamar Jackson's already passed Tom Brady?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes. Okay. That's not as bad.
Still insane.
It's still crazy, but that's not as bad.
No, it's not.
That's not as
No,
bad.
it's not. It's not crazy.
He's still got to win.
It's not crazy.
It's
Four
crazy.
more? 3 more?
4 more.
I said what I said, Sammy. So
he only has 2 Super Bowls, right? Brady has 7, right?
Okay. They're at the same part at the same time of their career. They have the same exact career record and wins and losses, playoff record. And once he wins the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, they're gonna have the same amount of Super Bowls through the same amount of years that they've both been in the league. So can I not just be ahead of my time and say he's already better? I mean, skill set wise,
he had Tyreek Hill for like 6-7 years.
If you wanted to someone from Massachusetts, say something about Tom Brady or Derek White. That's all I can say. So
he's passing the ball to Valdez-Scantling and people we never heard of, and you're gonna talk about Tyreek Hill. I don't care about Tyreek Hill.
I mean, Rashee Rice is pretty good.
Yeah, he's good.
Travis Kelce ain't bad. I mean, this is the first year where he's had a subpar receiving core.
Gronk isn't bad. Walker wasn't bad. Edelman wasn't bad.
I just can't.
Okay.
I can't.
All right. All right. Let me go to you, Vic. Actually,
sure.
Where are you with Patrick Mahomes? Where he's at in his trajectory as far as what his resume is about to start stacking up.
I mean, his resume is good, but like he didn't go up against Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? Like he didn't go up against the greats. I mean, he's not going up against Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
He's
here.
also 0-2 against Tom Brady. So
yeah, and also lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
You do know they don't play the other quarterback; they play against the defense. You do know that, right?
Right, but I'm just saying.
What does that have to do with the other quarterback?
I'm just saying, Tom Brady has one Super Bowl head-to-head win over Patrick Mahomes. And
you remember that game with no offensive line whatsoever to speak of, and he was still acrobatic all over the field doing everything he could. And we talk about Tyreek Hill. Let's talk about the offensive line that Tom Brady's had his whole career. He had time to eat popcorn in the backfield, go kiss his ex-wife Giselle. He had plenty of time in that pocket back in the day. And what Patrick Mahomes is able to do off schedule, come on, man.
Tom Brady was throwing at Brandon fucking Lloyd and Troy Brown.
Kembrell Tompkins.
On the most important play of the game, he threw to Valdez Scantling. On the most important play of the game, Scantling.
I still think Valdez Scantling would have been the most talented receiver on some of those Patriots Super Bowl teams. But let's focus on Mahomes.
He has a highlight reel of the most drops from Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes.
You're not going to win this debate. Yeah, let's talk about the game.
Okay. You gotta win it. You gotta win it for me to start thinking that.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm allowed to think how I want to think, and I'm already there. But go ahead.
We're allowed
Sammy.
to tell you're crazy.
And I'm allowed to be
gaslighting.
That's like saying LeBron is better than MJ.
He is. All right, Sammy. Let's talk about the game, Sammy. What was your take on everything?
Oh man, A-Rod hates me. A-Rod was cursing me out because I had such a smug ass smile on my face on that last play, trying to. I don't know, triple coverage? Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? No, but anyway, as I said, in the beginning of the year when we talked about this and you all said I was crazy, and again, I still could be crazy. I said, I didn't think he deserved that contract because he hasn't won shit, and he still hasn't won shit. With that being said, I still think he's a super talented quarterback, whatever, yada, yada. Let's go. This game in particular, I think you started to see a lot of his small deficiencies. When it mattered, he couldn't make the play. Versus when you look on the other side, which is the guy you're defending against Tom Brady, which you're allowed to feel, he made the plays when it mattered, and he didn't make the mistakes. That's what Pat Mahomes has been doing this entire year. I've been slandering him and saying I don't think this team is good enough, but he's doing just enough, right? He's not making mistakes. He's making critical plays on third down. He's, staying ahead of the team or staying within, striking distance. This was one of the few times that we can say Pat Mahomes was ahead for the majority of this game instead of being behind. But again, for the case against Lamar Jackson, your defense held the Kansas City Chiefs to 0 points in the second half. 0 points. And you couldn't score?
I mean,
I don't know.
Patrick Mahomes couldn't score in the second half. So, I mean, what are you saying? Patrick Mahomes couldn't score in the second half either. And we talk about Lamar didn't deserve his contract because he didn't done shit. What has Justin Herbert done? What has Kyler Murray done? What has Deshaun Watson done? What has Josh Allen done? What has Dak Prescott done?
The only person that I can say deserves that contract, though, you didn't ask me that part, is probably Justin Herbert. And that's based on
what has he done?
Potential. I agree with you. I agree with you. No, I agree with you.
You said
I agree with you. I said potentially. The only one that I think could potentially deserve that contract is Justin Herbert.
Okay, so you mean no quarterbacks are supposed to get paid if they don't do nothing at all? Is that how you're doing it?
Yes.
Because in the last 8 years, it's been Mahomes, Brady, and Matthew Stafford. So you mean no other quarterback deserves to get paid?
Everybody's a 1B, right? You're gonna get paid more than the guy that's. You're gonna get paid more than the guy that's cooking you.
Listen, the market is the market. You can't do anything about the market. So you're gonna tell Lamar, don't take that $50 million a year. You only deserve 30 because you haven't won a Super Bowl, even though he's about to win his second MVP. And the amount of money you generate as a quarterback.
But MVP doesn't mean shit. Like, the team is paying you. The league's not paying you. The team is paying you.
That is cool, but none of the people that I mentioned have done anything remotely close to that.
I agree with you. Me and Vic hammer that Josh Allen is overrated.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page there. Okay.
Should he get paid more than Pat Mahomes? Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Cool. I mean, it's not Patrick Mahomes' fault. It's not Lamar Jackson's fault that they gave Patrick Mahomes that deal. That's between him and his team. If I work at AT&T and you work at T-Mobile, just because T-Mobile wants to pay you more than me, or I work at Verizon, you obviously Verizon is the superior company, right? And you work at Cricket Wireless. Just because Cricket Wireless wants to pay you more money, it's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's just that's just what it was. So I'm not gonna fault Lamar for getting the money that he got. And
I'm not faulting him. I said get your bag.
Nah, man. You've been hounding my dog all year, and you waited for this exact moment.
No.
It finally happened.
Get your bag. I said it. Get your bag. I don't think you deserve it.
But your first point was that they couldn't score in the second half. But you said in the second half the Chiefs couldn't score either. So
who's that has the better defense?
It's just, I mean, the Ravens couldn't score. They're number 1 and 2 defenses.
Guys, the reason why the Ravens lost this game is very simple. It boils down to time of possession. 37 minutes for the Kansas City Chiefs to 22 minutes for the Baltimore Ravens. This is a team that led the league in rushing attempts all year, to only run the ball a total of 16 times this game for 81 yards. They were running it well, averaging 5.1 yards per carry compared to Kansas City's 2.8. This is a team that was out-coached. This is not on Lamar. This is a bad coaching job by John Harbaugh? Okay.
Bingo.
That's all there is to it.
How many times did you said they ran the ball?
They ran the ball 16 times and averaged 5.1 yards per carry when they did run the ball. Compare that to Kansas City, who ran the ball 32 times, averaging 2.8 yards per carry. So I get why you're hating on Lamar, saying I get why this is a good time to say he's not worth the money.
If that's your best player, why aren't you putting the ball in your best player's hand? Let him run the ball.
Patrick Mahomes is their best player. They ran the ball 32 times.
This is exactly. I mean,
so your point does not make sense.
Yes, it does. If it's working, why aren't you doing it?
Who is the Chiefs' best player?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, they ran the ball 32 times. Isaiah Pacheco had 24 carries. Isaiah Pacheco had 24 carries. Patrick Mahomes threw the ball, 39 times? And then not to mention, Travis Kelce had a run.
Well, look at Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards ran the ball 3 times for 20 yards, and during the season he averaged 11.6 carries per game. So I mean that 3 to 11. That's a big disparity there. There's something off.
And how many missed throws did Lamar Jackson have? We're just nitpicking stats that aren't even applying to the game.
Lamar had 8 carries for 54 yards.
Okay.
He also threw the ball for 277 yards.
Okay.
What else? He went 20
for 37.
272, a touchdown and an interception. So I mean, it's not like he went out there and completely shot the bed. He played against a very good defense who's been shutting everybody down over the last 8 weeks. And the Chiefs went against a very good defense as well. But the game plan that the Chiefs ran, clearly battle tested, been there, done that. They don't care about Patrick Mahomes' stats and all that stuff. They cared about winning the game. And when your best player is handing the ball off 24 times, Isaiah Pacheco, that's how you do it.
And throwing the ball into triple coverage at the end of a game, you had plenty of time.
So you're going to pick out one play?
You had plenty of time.
You got one play.
There's many other plays. Hold on, let me pull up the other plays real quick. No, I got it.
A-Rod, while he's pulling it up, man, what do you got for me?
I mean, y'all 3 are the ones that were counting the Chiefs out all year, saying, "Oh, this team is beatable in the postseason." I think
they have been beatable.
Right. They have been, but the postseason, they're a different team. They're a different team in the postseason. I was like,
listen, it's not like they blew out the Ravens here, guys. They won by 7 points.
It was literally a touchdown game, guys.
Y'all been talking for like 30 minutes. Let me say something now, okay? I want to allude to what a great defensive game that was. It was an amazing defensive game because everybody was expecting Mahomes to throw 3-4 touchdowns, Lamar to counter with, maybe 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns, throw a touch, something like that. And it was purely a great defensive game. Now, I know it was a little bit sauce because I was drinking that day and I was cooking and whatever. But I remember it tuned into the game and I was like, damn, this is just pure defensive excellence. And Andy Reid did it again. He beat one of his former coaches that he had in his staff. He's just notorious for doing that. And I think with Kansas City, you just can't rule them out when it comes to the postseason. Postseason football is different than regular season. If you get there, like, all week I heard the announcers and the talking heads saying, "Oh, Lamar or Patrick Mahomes has never been the home or never had a home or where he's never been at home in a playoff game or had a home field advantage. That's what it was. And they were like, it's not going to work. I see Baltimore coming on top. I was like, man, I really want Lamar to get this dub, but it's Patrick Mahomes. Let's be real here of the type of player and the caliber he is. So I think for Lamar, yeah, that throw at the end, triple coverage, that was stupid. You could see his anger at the very end of the game. I also like his composure at the end. I like how he explained how he wanted it, how it was his fault, and he took initiative for that. So I respect him as a man for that. I get that because a lot of pressure was on you. It wasn't until the last 2-3 weeks of the season they were crowning you MVP then. Before, we never said Lamar Jackson's name. But as soon as the Ravens started winning games, then we started to take note of the type of year he was having. So don't count him out for that. I think Lamar is in a good place. I think that team is set up for success. Now losing your defensive coordinator, we got to see what's going to happen next year with that team, who they're going to replace him with. They can get a guy to come in and have a dominant defense like they had this year. But the Ravens usually do well. I just don't want to put them as a cursed team yet. I think they fixed all the problems. Maybe there's one or two things maybe missing. Don't know. Maybe a healthy Mark Andrews throughout the season would help. Don't know. But, I'm happy for Lamar to get where he's at. I'm proud of him. But Patrick Mahomes, he's on that trajectory to be the best.
And we're talking about stats, stats that also matter. The penalties. Ravens had 8 penalties for 95 yards. The Chiefs only had 3 for 30 yards. The Ravens had 3 turnovers. The Chiefs had 0 turnovers. So the combination of who ran the ball more, who controlled the clock, who turned the ball over less, and who had less penalties that's the reason why the game was won or lost by one team or the other. It has nothing to do with Lamar Jackson's not good or anything like that. So that was my only argument, because you got to look at the whole picture. Obviously it wasn't the prettiest game when it comes to offensive fireworks, but hey, it was a good game defensively. That's the kind of games that I like as well. So, I just want to make sure that I pointed that out as well. So, did you find what you were looking for, Sammy?
Sammy's like the NFLPA president, like with the phone right now, trying to find the stuff.
No. I found it. I mean, I didn't find the exact plays, but I found the percentage and the rating. I couldn't find the exact plays. Usually it has it on there. So obviously 20 for 37, 54%, 75.5% passer rating. But I think it's just more important to look. I mean, yes, I'll agree with you after looking it up. It was a stupid decision for them to run or pass the ball much more than running the ball. But if you look on the other side, it's not like, regardless, I'm gonna keep eating this. I'm gonna keep going with it. And yeah,
you're wrong.
I don't know. I know. I see, and that's the problem. Like, I'm not saying Lamar Jackson is a bad quarterback. I'm just saying when you compare him, he shouldn't be at the same level. And I think this is a bad precedent that we are appeased by the market just continuously increasing. It's like, no, man, the players should fucking prove themselves to you. And before he even got to this point, he's had plenty of opportunities to even get past the first round, and he hasn't. So, I don't know.
He got past the first round once.
It's got to be. See, when a team is bad, you blame the quarterback. But when something happens that they lose, you don't blame the quarterback. So it's like sometimes I'm like, well, pick a fucking lane, not just you.
I just read you the turnover differential, the penalty differential, who ran the ball more. There's a lot of coaching errors. 3-0.
Okay. And you know who accounted for 2 turnovers?
Oh, okay.
We should just get him his MVP and get rid of him out of the NFL. He should just go play in Canada now.
That's what Sammy wants.
That's not what I'm saying.
Joe Flacco was once the highest paid player in the NFL.
Shouldn't have been.
What if the Patriots got Lamar Jackson? How would you feel then?
I know we wouldn't pay him the contract that he got, so I know that's not even possible.
Let's just say Bill was licking up on that yak one day, and he went in there with Robert Kraft, and he was like, I want to get Lamar. How would you feel then?
If he's after Tom Brady and he doesn't win me a ship in the first 2 to 3 years, he fucking sucks.
So, see, you sound like a spoiled Patriots fan. Y'all, if he doesn't win me a championship in 2 to 3 years, do you know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl? Tom Brady does not grow on trees. That is a rare person. Every 20 years you get one of those.
Make the fucking Super Bowl, okay? That's all I'm asking. Make the Super Bowl.
No, it's you know how hard it's Patrick Mahomes. Again, what have I said?
Then why is he getting paid? All right, let's move on.
Peyton Manning didn't make the Super Bowl until 2009. That was 12 years, or no, 2008, whatever it was. That was more than 10 years into his career. Why? Because he kept running it to who? Tom Brady. So you're going to sit here and tell me that Peyton Manning wasn't a good quarterback that whole time? He didn't deserve to get the money that he got because he never made it to the Super Bowl until whenever he got there? That's not fair. It does not make sense. The argument does not make – you can't make the Super Bowl every year. It's just
I
scientific.
didn't say every year.
Unless you're Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady.
He hasn't even done it once. Do it once.
Who from his class have made it even a little bit? Like Sam Darnold made it to the Super Bowl as a backup. Like, come on, like that's it. That's all we know.
Brock Purdy's in the fucking Super Bowl.
No, the 49ers are in the Super Bowl with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, what's his name? Vic Bosa.
Okay. Let's go to that
Fred
game.
Warner.
Okay.
Come on, let's just go to the next topic because this is one for another day.
All right, Erod. What game did you watch between the 40? All right, so I'm gonna start with you, obviously because of Dan Campbell. So he blew it. So I want to get your first reaction to your boy Dan Campbell blowing it.
I mean, it was a nail biting game. In the beginning, I was like, these boys are gonna do it. I couldn't. They went up 14-0 in the first quarter. I was like, they've got a chance. And then the second quarter, the Niners showed life, and they were up 24-7, I think, at the half. And I was like,
going into half was 24-7.
They can put these boys away. And then it was a tale of two halves. After that, San Francisco said they literally had us in the first half. And what I took away from that game is Dan Campbell is a crafty guy. He is a gunslinger. He is not afraid to take risks. But in a game like Dallas, where it didn't work for you the first time, and you did it again, you did the same thing in this game where you went on fourth. I was like, dude, just play it safe. Play it safe, man. And he went for it on fourth twice and didn't convert. So that hurt for me to see. I like it from his character. I think getting there and the team making these strides to get there and fighting like he wants that team to be, he was like, fuck it. It worked for me all year. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do this. This is literally my formula, and it can't be replicated, and it's been working for me. I'm going to do it. But I just think the 49ers outsmarted him on that. So, it sucks. I wanted it for him, but the 49ers are clearly the better team. But they are beatable. We can all say that they are beatable now. If we look at the 49ers in the beginning of the year and we were like, they should be blowing out teams. They should, be putting a hurt on all these teams, and they're getting by the skin of their teeth. 3 points. They're beatable in my books. So, Dan, let's see it next year, man. Come with that same energy.
Vic?
Yeah, this game was lost, KK. In the fourth quarter with 7 minutes and 38 seconds left, 4th and 3, and Jared Goff threw an incomplete pass intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got to take the points there. Any coach that had been in that situation before would not have panicked trying to get it all back at once, but said, we still got a lot of time left in this game, 7 minutes. We can still win this game. They should have taken the points there. They did not. They chose to go for the big play, and it really hurt them in the end. And actually, to be honest with you, I feel like he lost it twice. Even when they went for the touchdown, I know he kind of had no choice but to call a timeout there. But I feel like you got to rush to the line there, 4th and 3. Who gives a fuck if you guys call a timeout? Your only hope is an onside kick. Yep. And we all know what the percentages on an onside kick are. You might as well just be you buy a lottery ticket, right? So that's where the game was lost. This is a game of two halves, as cliche as it sounds. It absolutely was. We got a different Lions game, and a Lions team in the second half, and I think it's very evident in this matchup, as in the last matchup, coaching makes a difference. Halftime adjustments. How many times have we seen the Patriots and Bill Belichick go into halftime down, come back and win outright easily? All good coaches make great halftime adjustments. I'm just saying Bill because he's obviously the first great coach that comes to mind. But even Andy Reid, all these head coaches that have staying power, have multiple Super Bowl wins. This is what they do. This is their bread and butter. I think Kyle Shanahan's a great head coach. I think he's going to take the 49ers to the promised land on Sunday if he can beat not Sunday in 2 weeks. And take the 49ers to the promised land and hopefully knock off Mahomes and Taylor Swift.
Sammy.
Yeah, I don't have much to add other than the fact that the Niners defense definitely stepped up. Yes, part of it was game plan and game management by the Lions and what they were trying to do. But I thought the Niners stepped up huge. This was another case where in the second half, other than in those last few minutes, they held the Lions to it once again. I think either 0 or 3 points before that touchdown, and yeah. So you go on a 24-0 run, like that's pretty good.
It was 0 points in the second half until they scored that touchdown.
Correct. So
yeah, it's crazy.
And credit to Brock Purdy, man. The guy stepped up and proved to everybody that he's not just a game manager, but he can make plays to win games or not lose games. So give a lot of credit there. So, but yeah, I think Vic summed it up pretty well.
Do you think all the Brock Purdy slander should be put to rest?
Oh yeah.
I never. But
yeah, same. I'm with the other guys here. I never had any slander. I think he is who he is. I don't think he's Tom Brady. I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes. I actually think he's Jared Goff, but with bigger clutch gene. You know what I mean? But let's be real. This is Mr. Irrelevant we're talking about here. That's fucking crazy what he's done. He's just. I know nobody wanted the 49ers in there, but at least Brock Purdy gives me something to root for. That guy really overcame a lot to be where he is today. So I love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, normally I would. I just hate the shit out of the 49ers. I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm allowed to hate the 49ers. We have a rivalry, so
get it.
I hate Debo Samuel's stupid face. I hate Chase.
I didn't know that. KK's an Eagles fan.
I hate what's his name? Nick Bosa. I hate all of them. So I don't give a damn. I think Brock Purdy's trash. I think the 49ers are trash. But no, normally I would say this is a good story. I'd want to go for Brock Purdy and all that, but he just plays for the team I hate the most right now. So kudos to them for escaping with a victory. If you look at the statistics, like from a head-to-head standpoint, they're pretty much even across the board. Just one coach was dumber than the other. Just plain and simple. Like Kyle Shanahan, when he was up 28-3 on the Patriots, it's like a complete script reversal. It's like, okay, now Dan Campbell's the Kyle Shanahan of, 2017, 2016? It's like the roles literally reversed. So Dan Campbell will learn from this, It might not even be with the Lions, but he will learn from this. And, hopefully we see him back in this situation again. But, yeah, he blew it. So, just kudos to the 49ers. And I want to have some fun now because I want to get to sports gambling because that's my life now. I am obsessed. That is what I do. So we're gonna have
I got cooked on Sunday.
We need shotgun guy for this one, man.
So, instead of previewing the game because we have all next week to do that, I want to see how all the interviews go and what coaches are saying before I start making my actual predictions. I do want to get to some fun, prop bet kind of stuff. But first, we'll start with and I'm giving the floor to you, Vic. So this is your time to shine and do what you got to do. So I'm going to start with from what I saw on Hard Rock Bet, San Francisco -2 over under 47.5. So give me your go ahead and let's talk about it.
All right, guys, this is the last one, the big kahuna, the whole enchilada. Any other kind of food you guys can put in there. We got the 49ers and the Chiefs facing off in the Super Bowl on February 11th in Las Vegas, Nevada, the gambling mecca for my Arab guys here on the podcast. AKA Sammy. So if you look at the spread, as KK said, the Kansas City Chiefs are the underdogs here with a total on the season against the spread, 12-7-1. The Niners are coming in and even 9-1 against the spread. The market loves the Chiefs. 66% of the cash, 74% of the tickets are on Taylor Swift's Kansas City Chiefs. So do what you will there. I think you have a lot more value taking the -2 points with the 49ers. This, in my opinion, this line is going to move. So if you like that number 2, I'd take it now because I think it's going to go down to 1.5, possibly 1 by game time. So just be in on that. As far as the over/under, we have the second-ranked defense in the NFL versus the 7th-ranked defense in the NFL. The 49ers have gone over in their last or pushed in their last 3 games. The Kansas City Chiefs have been all have gone under, over, and under in their last 3 games. I don't like the over/under in this one, boys. I think this could be a boring-ass Super Bowl. Not a lot of fireworks here, but give me the San Francisco 49ers -2 and the over because nobody ever takes the under. It's fucking boring. Who doesn't root for points?
Yeah, we root for points, but obviously we see the type of defense that San Francisco is capable of playing in that second half, and the Chiefs have been playing for the majority of the season. So for me, my non-expert ass, I'd probably want to stick with the under on that one, especially being this is a Super Bowl. And it's crazy how Super Bowl, like a lot of times Super Bowls are either blowout, they're either real fun or they're just completely like boring. So I hope this is one that's a little exciting for the Swifties that are going to be joining us for the Super Bowl this week, that weekend, because you want to talk about record-breaking Super Bowl? This is going to smash a lot of records. Like, let's be honest. The amount of women that are going to tune in and a lot of, young girls who like Taylor Swift and they are going to flood the market. So
keep in mind, Taylor Swift has a concert the night before in Tokyo. So she might not show up.
She might not be there.
She might not.
She got a PJ waiting for her to get to where she needs to get to.
Yeah,
so.
but
Dude, what's the time change there though? Holy
Exactly.
shit! Can we do some math on the pod right now and just figure out this is the most important thing ever?
Is that
Wow, bitches.
They
Is
said
it
the
13 hours?
The odds of her showing up are actually low, which is crazy.
What are the odds of that in Vegas?
Yeah, will Taylor Swift show up?
No,
Holy
okay,
shit.
Listen to this. Hear me out. All right, hear me out. What if she doesn't show for the first half and the whole world's heart is broken, and then Usher has somebody come up from the middle of the stage?
Write it down. Write that down right now.
You heard it here.
That is exactly what's going to happen. I like
Ain't
where your
no
head
fucking
is at.
way.
I like where your head is at. Have they ever done a song together?
No,
A duet, a performance, anything?
I don't think so.
This
Damn it. Let's see.
this
Look at
is
Usher
this is
and
a fucking first in the podcast.
Taylor's. Oh, no, they don't.
I'm sure he could have her sing something on Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Usher said on November 1st, 2023, he will serenade Taylor Swift if she comes to the Super Bowl. That was on November 1st, 2023. I think they know something. I think you know how we talk about script.
What do the sharps know, Vic? What do the sharps know?
I don't see any odds on whether Taylor Swift is going to be there. I will tell you right now, it is currently 10:52 a.m. and February 1st in Japan. So she will literally be going back in time to make this Super Bowl. If anybody can break the time-space barrier, it's Taylor Swift, guys. I think she gets there on time.
That's beautiful. I love our coverage on Taylor Swift today. So some other fun bets, and let's have fun with this. So the length of the national anthem, we have Reba singing the national anthem. When I was a kid, I didn't even know she was a country singer. I used to watch that show Reba on WB or CW, whatever it was, and I loved the show. So now I was, oh shit, she sings country. So this obviously I knew that before now, but she's got the anthem. We have the over under right now at 86.5 seconds. That is a minute and 26 and a half seconds. What do y'all think? Because I've never heard Reba really sing a song. We got a slow anthem coming, or we gonna have something a little quicker?
She's a slow country singer. Smash the over on that one.
Okay, I'm taking your advice. I'm gonna smash the over on that one.
And I don't even listen to country music.
I gotta wait to see the rehearsals Usually somebody gets in there and will leak a rehearsal. I will say that on my YouTube research, the national anthems that she has sung have been around 125, 1 minute and 25 seconds, around there. So what was the over under again, KK?
86.5. So that's 1 minute and 26 seconds and a half.
Yeah, they fucking Vegas did it again. They nailed it.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like the over. Just, like, I always go over with everything, but here I might stay away until I see the rehearsals. Let's wait for the rehearsals.
The under right now is at plus 105. That's good value right there.
I'm taking that under.
That is good value.
I'm taking that under. All right. All right. Will the Super Bowl MVP mention Taylor Swift during his speech? Is this so? If it's Mahomes or Kelsey, do you think one of them are going to mention it, or do you think somebody from the 49ers is going to say it funny to be funny, right? They have it yes plus 230, no minus 310. So
where are you finding
do what you want with that.
Are these on fucking Hard Rock? Where are these bets?
No, these
so
are.
I'll say this. Anybody thinking, if you think the 49ers are going to win, or that, yeah, that's really all you're looking at here, because if the Chiefs win, then most likely Travis Kelce will have to have a good game, which means Pat Mahomes would have a good game. That means Pat Mahomes would win it, and I don't think he would say anything. I would just find it really hard to believe Kelce would get an MVP. He might be the only person that would say it. But I think the Niners would say something like, sorry, Taylor Swift. Like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, if you think the Niners are going to win, then I think you go yes, because I think they'll be cheeky like that, because you know they're petty.
Okay. All right. Another one that I saw, the first song that Usher will perform, it's like minus 100,000. Yeah. But it's been a while.
I think oh my God is good value. I think that's good value.
That's a good way to open. That's a great way to open a show.
Yeah.
More oh my God, and definitely are going to be 3 songs they play on it.
Yeah. So not My Way, bro. If they start off with
We
My
want
Way,
that.
I'll cry if they start off with My Way.
If they do My Way or Nice and Slow, I'd be like, damn. But they're not. They're not going to give us that.
Nah. All right, and then last but not least, two of them before we get. We got heads and tails. You know, obviously, I always say tails never fails, so I'm going tails. Y'all got any insight on that?
Tails all day. Tails all day.
All right.
But I mean, where were you finding these bets? I'm like looking for them on Hard Rock. I can't.
I've seen some on Cover, Fox Sports bet. So I've looked at all just different lines everywhere. I'm pretty sure they'll probably get released at some point, but these are some of the bets that I kind of looked up online. And last but not least, according to Fox Bet, actually, color of the Gatorade. Right now, the betting favorite is purple.
What?
So purple is the betting favorite. So we got purple at plus 175. We got yellow green at plus 275. Orange at plus 330. Blue at plus 330. Red at plus 500. Which I believe they won't do red because they're both red teams.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. Clear plus 1,200, and then no Gatorade bath plus 2,000.
Orange. I'm taking orange.
I might like blue.
I like the odds on clear.
Clear.
I think it's gonna be water.
Yeah, it says clear or water. That is actually true. Are there any like super health nuts that play for either one of these teams? Because that will determine if it's water or Gatorade. I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with blue. I'm gonna go with blue. I like plus 330 on blue.
I like orange. It's a subtle color, and it's kind of both in their color schemes a little bit.
Hence why I think they stay away from it.
Red definitely. Red is definitely gone.
I like blue.
How about what's the color of the logo for the Super Bowl? Let's see.
Purple.
It's purple. Oh, that's why purple is heavily favored. You know what? I'm gonna just rock the purple and just call it a day. So. All right, that's all I got for the NFL. Do y'all want to add anything before we move on to the National Basketball Association? Because there's a lot going on in basketball.
Oh,
we all good?
Done with the NFL.
Okay.
Suck.
Guys, we got 2 weeks left of the NFL season, and then once the NFL season is over, it's about to go heavy NBA, and we all got our teams in the Eastern Conference within the first 4 or 5 slots. I'll start with my teetering team because Joel Embiid, a week ago I'm talking about 70, and now I'm talking about holy shit, he's not going to play long in enough games to even make an All NBA team because of this stupid new rule. Everyone said he's dunking Jokic and this and that. He rushes back and then he gets hurt. So I blame everybody in the world for pressuring my dog because he had to come back. Now look at us. Now we're going to be trash. We got Paul Reed and that's it. So as a Sixers fan, I'm gonna give you my pulse. It's rough. It's rough. I just want to say that, but I'm going to wait and see what's going on with his injury. I know he has to get reevaluated. But a trade is definitely going to be necessary for me to even feel anything positive, or it's just going to be another second round exit, and I just got to get used to that. But I really want to go to you, A-Rod, on this one because I haven't seen you cheer this much since Latrell Sprewell was there. So the Knicks are 14-2 in the month of January. What an amazing turnaround! OG Anunoby. We all said in the chat that day, like, I don't know. That was that has been like executive of the year type of trade. So the floor is yours, sir. Go ahead and boast.
I still trying to understand the analytics behind it, but it's working. And 14-2, I'm loving it, man. Like Sammy and I were talking about it, and he's just the right guy. It fits the mold of what they're trying to do. Like I said, I'm still trying to understand what they're trying to do. But I'm liking. I've come around on it. If you win me games and it's working, New York is definitely happy. We're climbing up the ladder in the East. We just jumped this. Was it the Sixers we jumped, right?
Possible. I think we lost 2 in a row. So
third. We're third in the East now, and we're I think 1.5 behind the Bucks. And it was at a time where nobody in the East was losing games. Nobody was losing games, but now that Embiid is out, and the Heat have lost a good chunk of their games, their last 8 games, I think, or last 6 games, something like that. It's looking, it's the opposite. It's looking good, bruv. So I'm liking what they're doing. I still keep hearing rumblings of them making a trade. I keep checking the beat writers. We're in on Malcolm Brogdon, Clarkson. The kid that was in Denver, that's in Toronto now, and there was one more, but they're trying to get another
Bruce Brown.
Yeah, Bruce Brown. They're trying to get another small forward, shooting guard player there, and the 2 names that I keep hearing that are going to be off the team are going to be Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes with picks attached to it, and then
those are all good trades.
The Julius Randle thing, Julius is showing out. Julius is really doing his thing. So I don't want to hear any Julius Randle slander. I know the injury, it came back that it could be weeks and not months. So that's a big relief there. We're just going to need the backups to play in his place and show up. So that kind of scares me because we don't have another power forward. We got rid of Obi, and now I don't know who the backup power forward is for the team. So I don't know if they're putting Jericho Sims there or what they're trying to do there.
All right, Mr. Celtics fans, before we get to the Celtics, he mentioned a player.
Zinchenko, by the way.
Real quick, you mentioned a player, A-Rod, and I saw a report that Malcolm Brogdon didn't feel valued by the team last year. Did y'all see anything about that? Sam, you can go.
Fuck out of here, Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, what? Like, how did he not feel valued? That's like confusing to me.
He sucked.
When it mattered, he got hurt, and we all expected that. No, I don't think anybody blamed him either. Like when he went out the door, we could have done so much more as a fan base, even as an organization, but they didn't. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why he would say something like that. Like, he was a big part of us making, a decent run, and then obviously his body just couldn't hold up. And so I don't know why he's salty. If he even said that, I know the reports came out, but that's bullshit. Like,
okay, all right. Vic, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was either Malcolm Brogdon or Drew Holiday. Who the fuck are you? Like, are you kidding me? Like, Drew is like the perfect guy for this team, fit wise. Brogdon was great, but he wasn't. He wasn't that. He didn't have. He was too passive on a team full of passive guys. He was too quiet, I think, in a team full of quiet guys that aren't that vocal. So getting rid of Smart, you need to have a dog back in there, and Drew Holiday's a dog.
And from reading what I see here, it looks like he's probably just more bigging up Portland more. He said at times, I was there for a year, won 6 Man of the Year, and they shipped me out. So like I didn't feel very valued there. Here I feel valued. Portland has embraced me, and I've enjoyed being coached by Chauncey Billups.
That sounds like a guy that has like salty potatoes. You know what I mean?
That sounds like
he's just upset.
That has to settle for this because he knows nobody else wants anything to do with that. Because you got your opportunity to win with the champion or try to win with a competitive team, and you did what you normally do, and you break down. So now you can go play with a rebuilding team and chill.
Yeah, that's all I want to say about it.
That's cool. So, and I'll let you keep going, Vic, and then Sammy. Talk about the Celtics and how you're feeling. You guys are still first place in the East and still have the best record in the league. I think you guys are 8-2 in your last 10. So, we got Kristaps in and out the lineup. There might be. Do you see any trades on the horizon? That kind of stuff. Go
ahead. Sammy, you want to go ahead and take this one first?
No, I just want to say that I'm really excited to get back into Celtics basketball. I have been watching, but also even more now that Morocco is out of the African Cup of Nations. But no, the first thing that I do want to say is, yes, I did hear some rumblings of potential trades that we could make. I think personally, I think this is going to be a quiet trade deadline. I just don't see like any huge moves happening. Like, I don't know. I just, it's hard because I think the market, as kind of A-Rod just alluded to, seems like it's really expensive for certain players. But I did hear about potentially Alex Caruso would be a decent fit. I know. I don't think it's going to happen. Who was the other one that I just recently saw? I don't think it's going to happen either, but that's all I got for right now. But
where do you think there might be value as far as like position wise? Like, do you think you need to beef up down in the middle, or
Isaiah Stewart?
Okay.
If possible, money wise, I don't know how it's going to work, but I think we need another backup big. I love Luke Cornett, but I can't imagine making a deep run in the playoffs with a front line of Porzingis, Cornett, and Al Horford.
Question. Could they? I know you guys shipped Big Bob to Portland, and apparently, like, he's on the block. Could they trade for Bob again or no?
No, we can't. We cannot trade for Bob this season. But there's unfortunately the Celtics are out of the buyout market this year because we are a tax team, so we aren't going to be able to get any buyout guys that you would normally see, which is kind of bullshit. But whatever. So I think the guard rotation's fine right now. I actually like what Pritchard's been doing. I think Sam Hauser's a great forward off the bench. He does what he needs to do. He has his slumps, but I think that he won't play enough in the playoffs for it to matter because I feel like JT and JB are going to be going all the way. So I like our honestly, I even like Keita, another backup center that we have. So I think there's a move to be made for a possible big man. Who that is still to be seen. I've been seeing a lot of Isaiah Stewart, but I just don't know how that's going to work money wise. Always sign that big extension.
I always like to look at the teams that are just don't give a shit, or they're struggling, or they got a lot of contracts. So I'm looking at Charlotte, looking at Washington. Trying to think who else. Detroit, I don't think they would do anything crazy.
Chicago,
Toronto, Chicago,
Atlanta.
DeJounte, that's a big name that keeps getting thrown around. So I mean, those are some of the potential like teams that I feel like we'd be willing to kind of just let that shit go. But we'll see. I mean, I do think there's going to be a quieter deadline as well, because it's just
The
Yeah.
NBA trade deadline right now, like the way the market seems, reminds me of the housing market right now. It's just
Yeah.
way too
Yeah.
expensive, man. Like we don't have the
Yeah.
capacity.
Yo, I don't, I don't have the capacity. No, damn, the interest rates are crazy right now in the NBA, so you don't have to chill out.
Housing market, they're getting better, but
Yeah,
the
we know
NBA,
that. Oh,
it's
we know that, Mr. Real Estate.
hey, sold my first house in 2024, so
Let's
run
go.
under
Success story. I love
contract.
success. You gotta save that to let a naysayer know, bro. You gotta save that. All right. We're gonna get to our All-Star reserves, but I do want to talk about the 65 game award situation with not being able to get on a first team or an All NBA team, which is gonna mess up people's max deal opportunities. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to get an MVP. You're not gonna be able to win a lot of different awards. And Halliburton's recently said something. He said it's stupid. I know some players do also share those same sentiments. I'm about to pull up a list right now of players who are either on the brink or or are already out of it. But while I do that, I do want to get your opinion on that, Sammy, because I feel like, you're a deep thinker. So what is your opinion on this matter right here?
I apologize. My dog just came in, so I like wasn't paying attention for a second. My bad. Can you ask the
You have a
question
dog?
again? Sorry.
So
Sammy has a dog now, by the way. Yes,
is this new?
it's Steph's dog.
Yeah.
It's a used dog.
Okay.
Dog.
But yeah, with the NBA going to this new thing with the 65 games, in order to be eligible for an award, we're been making all NBA team, getting a max deal because of that. Obviously, a lot of players are turned off and da da da. So, from your deep thinking and your perspective, putting yourself in the GM shoes and then putting yourself in the player shoes, what do you feel about this whole situation right here?
I'm okay with it. Mostly because I think why a lot of people are turned off by the NBA. Again, I think this is probably another one of Adam Silver's things to get more players to play, right? I mean, you know, when you start with the way the Clippers were run a few years ago, where Kawhi doesn't play as many games, or PG doesn't play as many games, LeBron doesn't play as many games, AD, KD, all these guys, right? And I get it, right? You want to save these players. I think 65 is a good number for right now, and then from there they can kind of push the needle however they feel. But I think you need to play at least a certain number of games so you can reward the players that are playing that a lot of games, because then you start to look at players like, this is the first one that comes to my head, like a Jason Tatum, right? Who plays the majority of the season. Some of these guys that put their ass out there every single year. Julius Randle, right? I think Julius Randle is usually normally pretty healthy most of the time. Whereas if you have some of these other guys that are kind of just cakewalking through and then they're still eligible to win these awards, I don't know. I just don't think it's fair. But also you're looking at it from a revenue standpoint from the ownership. Like, how would you feel if you had tickets to a game and then you hear that guy sitting, right? That sucks,
I will say, I went to the Orlando Magic game when they played this. I had myself a nice little 2-day run. I went and saw the Phoenix Suns and Orlando Magic, and then I saw Raw the very next night. That was
the same.
By the way,
fantastic.
Same game that Shotgun guy bet on.
So the Shotgun guy placed the $300 bet on the Phoenix Suns to win that game against the Orlando Magic, and he was so confident. I stared at him before I placed it. I was like, "Are you sure?"
Fuck the Shotgun guy.
It's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
I said, "Okay," and then he comes back. He's like, "I lost it," and I was like, "No way."
So, from my perspective, I was watching that game, and I wanted to see Paolo Banchero. We've talked about this. I've been waiting to see him. I'm happy I got to see him. He had a phenomenal game, and so did Devin Booker. But I have never seen Devin Booker. I mean, not Devin Booker. I've never seen Kevin Durant play. So I was actually excited to see Kevin Durant. I was like, oh my god, that's actually Kevin Durant. It's like one thing when he's on TV, it's like, all right, whatever. But to see him, I was like, damn, that's really Kevin Durant. And he played like dog shit. So I was like, damn, man, I can't hear to see you play, dog. So the fact that he was on the court was cool, right? The fact that he was on the court was cool. Then I was like, damn, what if he didn't play? I would have been pretty sad. I would have been like, but I'm looking at some of these people. So obviously Joel Embiid is at the forefront of a lot of people's minds right now, with his recent injury history, and it is very possible. I think he's only able to miss like 6 or 7 more games. Tyrese Halliburton for like an All NBA team for an opportunity for him to make a super max deal. Trying to see who else. Giannis, Jimmy Butler. There's players on here that we expect, to be on those teams. So it's like 20 years from now, you're gonna look and it's gonna be like, how did Karl Anthony Towns make All NBA first team? Like, that's gonna piss me off. So that's the part I'm a little concerned about. I think 65 was a little bit of a reach. I think 60, 60 makes a little bit more sense. Because just from a percentage standpoint, like that sounds like what 3/4. You play like 3/4 of the game at that point, in my opinion. So to me, that would have been a little bit more feasible. I would understand 55 games is not enough, 58 games, but 60 to me seems to be that would have been a good number. But Vic, what do you think about all of that? And are there like Kristaps? Would he be eligible for any awards this year, like an All NBA team or not? Because I don't know if he's gonna make the 65 games.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to make an All NBA team. But I don't think he's gonna play 65 games. I think their load management on him has been great this year.
Yeah.
They've been sitting him down on every back-to-back. I don't think he's played a back-to-back yet. And I just don't see him. Embiid, I hope he makes it. I want Tatum to win MVP against all of them. I don't want somebody to be not eligible. So I don't want them to take that away from Jason Tatum when he wins MVP this year. But yeah, I like the cap because, like Sammy said, you have to play the games. You have to play the games.
I'm trying to see, and A-Rod, go ahead. I'm trying to pull up a list of people who's missed like the most games this year. But go ahead.
I mean, I'm a little indifferent on it. I feel like you said, the numbers should change. I feel like they have a weird number that they threw out. I mean, I'm cool with it applying some type a rule that you have to play an X amount of games, but it's even like, even imagine all the people that are coming to watch the Al Nassr game and Miami friendly. Like, I know it's a friendly, but you went to go see Ronaldo go square up against Messi, and now Ronaldo's not going to play. So
what's his reasoning?
I think it's just conditioning or something like that. I have no idea.
Like, to me, what if they separated it? Like,
but that's because it's a
load
friendly
management
match
versus actual injury.
It's a friendly match, so they don't get any benefit from it. So I think Al Nassr is pretty competitive in Asia, so they want to win the cups in Asia while keeping their high talent. So it's a little different, right? Like it's like sitting your best player in an exhibition game, even if it is like let's say, for example, Sixers against the Celtics in an exhibition game. Tatum and Embiid probably going to sit, right? Like they're not going to really play much. So
yeah, and I get that, but like if I'm a consumer and I'm just like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime experience that I get to see these two players square off in my country, I want to see it, and you don't get one of them, you're just like, well, this sucks. So I mean, even with the NBA, like if I spend good tickets and I'm going to watch Kevin Durant play the Orlando Magic, and Kevin Durant just doesn't want to show up. And he's there in his stupid little his stupid Jacques Cousteau beanie that he wears all the time. I'd be pissed, but there has to be some kind of rule, because then you got guys like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George that strong arm that rule and just stay out the whole year, and they're getting paid these max deals and they're not even playing a fucking game, and we don't know why.
Kawhi been playing this year. Kawhi saw the rules. He's like, bro, you think I'm good?
Yeah. So I'm good. I just think they have to get the right number, and I think this is obviously the test to see. And then when they see names like, I don't know, some player make it that they're like, I didn't expect this guy to make it.
Rudy Gobert, All NBA first team. I'll lose my mind, bro. I will lose my mind.
Yeah. So.
I mean, and looking at, a lot of guys who have missed games, Lonzo, obviously, Steven Adams, Oladipo. It's like a lot of Ben Simmons. We all know he doesn't care about basketball anymore.
He just came back and got hurt.
And got hurt again. So I don't know. So a lot of these names are not like, okay, well, maybe they would have made it anyway. Bradley Beal, he's not going to. Darius Garland. I mean, let's say Darius Garland has a hell of a rest of the season. He's missed 24 games already. So that would put him like right on the brink of not making an All NBA team. And that's somebody who's a player that we like to watch and who plays really well. Evan Mobley, Yeah, I mean, there's some names on here, so I am a little concerned about how that you never know what's going to happen, but I do agree with the players that there needs to be some type of a way to amend some of these things. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if like the board of governors are going to make some type of decision. Because let's say Embiid plays 64 games, you're not going to give him an All NBA the first, second, or third team. That sounds crazy to me. So, but that's my concern. But let's get to the NBA All-Star Game. We have they're going as you guys are listening to this probably they're about to announce it or they've already announced it. But we're gonna give ours. With the starters last week. How did we do, A-Rod? Do you remember how we did?
I didn't keep a tally on it, but I think we all graded pretty good on that. I think the only anomaly was
me with AD instead of KD.
Yeah, AD and KD and the guard that we all had. We all had a different guard for the East. It was a toss.
Nobody had fucking Damian
Nobody
Lillard.
had fucking Damian Lillard.
No one had Damian Lillard.
Insanity.
I'm not upset with it.
No, all right. I'm gonna let you talk about that first before we get to the reserves, A-Rod. Why are you okay with this? Because I honestly don't believe, and you know how I feel about Damian. I'm not like the other two who hate him all the way. I actually like Damian Lillard, and when I first saw him, I'm like, there's absolutely no way he's an All-Star starter this year. So what makes you think he is?
Because if you look at the other guards that are going to make it, then I'm sure we all have the same guards on the list. And if you have Derek White on your list, please don't even say your team. I want you to know that
you're insane, dude.
So I just think that the other guards they're neck and neck as far as points, assists, everything. Now, if we want to look at percentages and things like that, also his team is 2 in the East. So I have no issue with it. Could it have been another player? I think it should have, but you got to look at it initially. It's the fans voting the starters in, and the fans want to see first year Dame being a starter, and I'm okay with it. Should it have been Mitchell? Should it have been Young? Should it have been Brunson? Should it have been Maxey? I think so. Not Lillard, but they are 2 in the East, so I'm going to give it an okay. And then even at that, it's not even going to be East and West. They're going to, pick.
It's back to East and West.
Oh, is it back to East and West? All right, then.
I love it.
I'm honestly okay with it.
And there's, there were 2 in the East, but they also got the coach fired. So there's that. But now that you've already spoken, might as well go ahead and give me your list of All-Star reserves.
All right, so my reserves for the East, I have Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, and now this is where it gets kind of hazy for me, is putting out the bigs. I'm giving Pablo Banchero a nod since he's playing really good basketball. I'm giving Bam Adebayo a nod. Jaylen Brown, he's going to get a nod for me. And then the last one, I want to homer this one. I want to give Julius Randle his flowers for the last pick, but obviously I don't know if he'll be healthy for it.
How many guys do you have?
Huh?
Let's look at this. How many guards and bigs?
1, 2, 3 guards. 1, 2, 3, 4 bigs.
Okay.
Isn't it? Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you right now.
It's 13.
You said what?
It's 13 players.
It's supposed to be 12, sir.
I thought it was 13.
12, sir.
Oh, well then X my last one of Julius Randle then. So
it will go. Let's see. Big. Let's see. I never know how. I never actually know the formula. I know there's a formula, but I never actually know the formula.
I get 4 guards and 3 bigs then.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah. 4 guards.
I have the same setup, but it can be whoever you want. Okay. I don't think.
All right, and then out west, I have Book. I have De'Aaron Fox, who we just want to be a starter every year. We just can't do it though. Just can't do it. Steph Curry, Ant-Man, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, and this is the last one that's hard for me, and I want to give it to Sengun from Houston. That's my last pick for
that.
Wow, nice.
That was a very like next level type of pick.
Yeah, he's doing amazing things out there, and I feel like we don't talk about him much. I wanted to give it to Sabonis because he's averaging 13 rebounds a game. Wemby's also a great choice there too. I feel like Wemby's going to get the nod, but I feel like Sengun definitely deserves a nod for what he's doing in Houston, and we don't praise it enough. It's almost Sabonis-esque looking at what he's doing out there.
All right, Vic, go ahead and give me your list.
So my list actually is very similar to A-Rod's. I got Bam Adebayo, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, and Donovan Mitchell at the top. I got Tyrese Maxey. I got Derek White, and then Barry. Dude, okay. And I was going to have to make my case.
Go ahead and
give your
case.
Here's the case.
Go ahead and give your case.
I'm a
Here's the case
Celtics
for Derek
fan.
White.
A Celtics fan.
He leads NBA starters, starting guards in the league with a net rating of 12.3. He has the let's see here. Defensive rating he's 6th in defensive rating. He is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th in offensive rating.
If Derek White
he shoots a great percentage, he has less usage than almost.
If Derek White gets a nod for an All-Star game, I will wear a clown nose the entire
awesome
episode.
Well, I mean, you wanted Trae Young on there. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Leading the league in assists.
Yeah, he's also shooting 40% from the field, 36 from 3, and he's on a team that sucks ass. You got to reward the best team in the NBA. You got to reward them for being the best team in the NBA, and I think Derek White has earned his spot. I think
there was that one year. There was that one year that Atlanta had Al Horford, Jeff T, Kyle Korver, and who am I missing? Josh Smith. Was it Josh Smith? That all made it. So.
East was also not competitive either.
All right, touche.
Now, in terms of, I have one more, and it's honestly down to Julius Randle and Paolo Banchero.
Fucker.
Man, it's tough for me. It really is tough for me. I like what Paolo's doing this year in Orlando. I think it's very good. Julius Randle's been great too, though. Give me Julius Randle over Paolo Banchero.
I love you.
So nice. All right, Sammy, go ahead, bro.
Did Vic do his West?
No.
My bad. My West.
My bad. Yeah.
My West is Steph Curry, Ant-Man, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Paul George, Devin Booker, and man, I don't know if I want Sabonis. I guess I have to. I have no choice. I don't have enough big men.
13 rebounds a game. It's hard to leave him off. He has to.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Sabonis on there. It was one of the Kings guys, so I'm gonna put Sabonis on there.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Sammy.
Fuck, I don't think I have 7 for the. So my West.
So we just real quick. We're doing 4 guards and 3 bigs, right?
Just whoever you got. Whoever you got.
I think for the West I have no, I have it the other way around for the West. So I got actually not really. Anyway, okay, so my West I got AD, Kawhi, Lauri Markkanen, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, and Sabonis. So very similar to Vic's, except I love me some Lauri Markkanen. For the East, Donovan. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same as yours. I'm missing one. Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, obviously Jaylen Brown, Paolo Banchero, Bam Adebayo. But that's only 6. So
throw Derek White in there. You know you want to.
Okay, I'm not throwing Derek. I'm not throwing Derek.
Young, no. Julius Randle.
I'll probably throw Julius Randle in there, but he's hurt, so I can't.
Yes, you can. He'll be back. Weeks, not months, weeks. I left him off mine. I'm pissed now.
Yeah. How dare you?
I know, right? Why would you do that? I'm not putting Trae Young. I'd rather put Julius Randle.
Because I didn't want to homeless. I honestly didn't want to put Jaylen Brown on it.
That's insanity.
It is insanity.
That's absolute insanity.
That's crazy.
It is insanity, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, I'll throw Julius Randle. I love me some Julius.
That's fair. All right. I'm gonna give you mine. And one player that I'm gonna go with the West. You guys all mentioned Paul George. I can't. I'm not putting him in my reserve.
I didn't put Paul George on mine.
Oh, you did it? I don't know what the hell he's done. Like, just because the Clippers are good doesn't mean he's been on minutes restrictions. He's averaging 23 points a game. Like, come on, like I'm going with
Gotta look at the offensive rating and
I'm
defensive
going
rating.
with Domantas Sabonis over him. So, but
Still a good pick.
For the front court, or the bigs or whatever, I got AD, Paul, Domantas Sabonis. Now Kawhi Leonard, I don't know what to consider him, but AD, Domantas Sabonis, Devin Booker, Kawhi Leonard, Stephen Curry, Anthony Edwards, and I'm missing one. What'd you say?
De'Aaron Fox, bro.
You know what? I'm not gonna put De'Aaron Fox in there.
How? He's like top 10 in scoring. You have to.
I cannot do that. Part of me wants to put James Harden for some reason. I feel like
what
when he got to the Clippers, do you see the turnaround that's happened to the Clippers?
Bro, over Paul George? Come on.
I said part of me wants to. I didn't say I was going to.
Okay.
And I'm not putting Paul George in there whatsoever because Paul George has nothing to do with that success. Okay, that's all a good combination of Harden accepting his role, Russell Westbrook accepting his role, and Kawhi Leonard becoming like Toronto Kawhi Leonard again. But I'll go with De'Aaron Fox because I like him, only because I like him. But we talk about the best team in the West or the best teams in the West. We only have Anthony Edwards, one player. OKC, Shai Gilgeous, one player, and then Denver only Jokic. It's crazy that the top three teams in the West would only have three players. But Jamal hasn't done anything this year that's like extraordinary. So that's the problem. But these are the three best teams in the West, and the Clippers are the other best team. So
that's the problem I've always said with Jamal Murray. It's guard heavy out west, and he's never going to get an all-star spot, but he'll get that ring. He'll get that ring.
Mike, it was like what happened to Mike Conley for those years. Yeah. So,
step one. Paul George has the highest offensive rating of any West starter in the league.
You can give me analytics. You can give me, money ball. You can give me whatever you want. Paul George is not making my All-Star reserve team.
I wouldn't even put him on a playground.
I don't want him on a playground. I don't want him in a playpen, and I don't want to play with him anywhere else. Pause. He is not making my All-Star reserve team. So we're going to go to the East, the Eastern Conference. A little easier for me. Jalen Brunson. So the credit that I want to give the New York Knicks right now, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with everything that they're doing. So Jalen Brunson, my boy Tyrese Maxey, of course, Jaylen Brown, Bam, Donovan Mitchell, Paolo Banchero, and Julius Randle. That's my list.
I want to faint. Everyone loves Julius. I love it.
That's my list. I just don't see. There's no way Trae Young even deserves to sniff that list. I'm sorry. I know.
I went off based off points and assists, and I feel like that may get the attention of people. I don't want him there. I just feel like he's going to get the nod, and even if Julius Randle can't go, he'll be the sub for that. I feel like.
At this point, I want to put OG Anunoby in there because the turnaround that the Knicks made. We're not talking about analytics, right? OG Anunoby goes to this team and they've blown up. James Harden went to the Clippers and they blew up. So if you want to talk analytics, I don't know what offensive rating they have, but I know the team got way better when they got there.
I'm so mad that in the same podcast that I predicted the Clippers, I thought that the Atlanta Hawks were going to be better. So it's kind of like I wash myself out like every fucking podcast, man.
Okay,
I thought that team was going to be better.
That Clippers pick was a good one.
I thought that Hawks team was... I went based on coach. Again, I went on coach. I didn't go on the players. I was like, I like the coach there. He might be able to fix it. But damn, they are terrible.
But the Clippers one was solid. The Clippers one was solid. I was not. I mean, I said, me, same old Clippers, but it's valid. That one's valid. You guys did play them a couple days ago, and it got out of hand.
They got us on an off night.
But yeah, that's all I got for the NBA. I'm excited for this All-Star Weekend when it does happen. It's going to be Indiana this year. So hope. Oh my God, dude! Halliburton's a starter, right?
Yeah.
I was about to say we didn't talk about Halliburton, but he's a starter.
Who do you love is coming back next week? We got to bring it back. NBA
who do you love is back? All right, and this little rivalry with Anthony Edwards and And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's starting to heat up a little bit. I don't know if you guys been paying attention, but my boy Ant-Man got fined $40,000 but he was standing on business. He was letting the naysayers know how he feels, and he stood on business. And then they went out and won the game. So I got to give my boy Anthony Edwards some credit. That's my guy. I'm team Anthony Edwards, so I'm proud of his, what he's been doing. But are we taking any sides here, or are we just gonna let this shit play out?
I'm gonna let this shit play out.
I'm gonna let it play out too.
Ant-Man, baby. All right, that's all I got, bro. You got anything, A-Rod?
I got a final thought.
Go ahead.
Derek White has a higher offensive rating and defensive rating than Trae Young.
Bro. Derek White is not making the All-Star team. Okay, let it go.
He should.
Let it go. What's that Boston beat writer that's always talking? What's his name? The basketball one. He's Mannix. Chris Mannix. You sound.
Oh, Chris Mannix.
You sound like a Chris Mannix on steroids right now. You got to chill out.
I'm just saying, guys. When it happens, don't be mad at me.
All right, so A-Rod, let's let our naysayers know now, because let's just get it off our chest. All right, I want to let my naysayers know that the University of South Florida men's basketball team is 14-5. 14-5. Sharif Abdur-Rahim's brother is a dog, and that team is on, I think, like on a 7 or 8 game winning streak right now. Tournament time, baby. Let's go, USF. 14-5, baby. Let a naysayer know.
Love it. Somebody else go. Give me a second to gather my thoughts. I forgot about this segment that we got now.
How dare you, Vic? Go ahead.
This is my first let a naysayer know.
You gotta let your haters know what's going on.
I'll let my haters know again that Derek White deserves to be on the All-Star team because he's fucking nice.
We're standing on business on that one.
I'm telling you, man.
He's dying up alone.
I walk lonely road.
I feel like if Vic could vote for like All-Stars and had like the right for that, he'd be the one. And like, when they send the email late at night, they're like, Vic voted for Derek White. I'm
telling you, it's not as crazy as you guys think. Derek White should be an All-Star.
I mean, he's averaging 16 points a game, 45% from the field, 4 rebounds. You know why I'm mad at Derek White? I had a 6-leg parlay yesterday. Yeah, it was 6 legs, whatever.
Jesus Christ, dude!
I hit on all of them, and then I took the over on 3.5 rebounds on Derek White, and he let me down. So at this point, I don't give a shit about the Boston Celtics anymore because Derek White let me down. Jaylen Brown let me down the other night. So I'm 0 for 2 with Boston Celtics picks lately. So
sounds like it should be
I'm staying away from parlay. Staying away from it.
Hansel Robles is entering the NBA draft. Supposedly, he has no left arm, so kind of like a comparison is Jaylen Brown out there.
Yeah, Emmanuel. Yeah, he's from Kissimmee, by the way. So,
man.
Shout out to him. Sammy, do you have any naysayers and what do you want to let them know?
I'm letting my naysayer knows that Lamar Jackson still can't win a damn important playoff games when the lights shine the brightest.
Okay, I mean, at least it made the playoffs. Justin Herbert, the guy that you said deserved it, he blew a 28-7 lead or whatever.
Philip Rivers, you mean?
Both of them. But go ahead, A-Rod.
I got 2 from my naysayers. One, sold my first house in 2024.
Oh,
that's done. And if you're looking to buy a house, this is what I do, man. Also, our closing date is the 26th of February. I got it shortened, so we're going to be closing sooner. So if you want to get in that house sooner, I don't fuck around, man. So stop fucking around with these dumbass realtors that ain't going to, listen to what you want and put in the time like I put in and get you the things that you want. Also, put in my first offer day one that the house went on the market, and I got it.
Let's go.
This podcast brought to you by A-Rod.
Rodriguez Realty. My motto is, I'll put you in your place. That's my motto.
Right? Oh, I like that.
Listen, I'm going to make a little music video for you, A-Rod, and I'm going to come at it with like the Chief Keef shit. Like, I'm tired of you motherfuckers saying Chief Keef ain't this, A-Rod ain't this, A-Rod ain't that.
Yo, someone made one with Jack Harlow in the new song, the Whips and Chains song or whatever, about realtors, and I was like, it's like the new trend on TikTok, so like all my realtor friends, They all made a video. I'm like, God, realtors are so whack, man. Like, you don't generate a lot of business off social media. Like, it's cute. No, hell no, I don't have a TikTok. We, as a collective, have a TikTok.
TikTok, baby.
We have a TikTok. And the last thing I'll say is the Eastern Conference, we coming.
All right.
Coming.
All right. Where can they find us, sir? Because now you're just talking out your ass.
I ain't talking out my ass, bro. You've been praised. You gave me 2 All-Stars.
I know. I can't give you that much. I gotta simmer down a little bit.
I get it. All right. So you can find us on Twitter at @fair_weatherpod. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. Wherever you subscribe and listen to podcasts, you can catch the audio there. We do have a TikTok coming eventually, so be on the lookout for that.
Shout out to Sammy. And my last words. I was about to file my taxes the other day, and I had to click Mary, and then they wanted me to put her name and social security number in there, and I freaked out. I was like, well, this is too real. So that's what I got.
I had to put my gambling winnings.
Oh, sugar. I haven't cashed out.
Yeah, she asked for the gambling winnings, and then he looked at her and said, "What's your name again?"
Well, yeah, that was real. So that's all I got. Stay out of trouble, y'all. Peace.
Later.